The tribe has spoken. In both the Brexit vote and the election of Donald Trump, a large portion of the electorate of two of the most powerful countries in the world have demonstrated 5 clear lessons that businesses should ignore at their peril. The first lesson is that there's a large group of people who feel left behind. Over the last 20 to 30 years, technology and globalization have significantly changed the way that we work. Many routine, tactical, and predictable jobs are being automated or offshored. According to global consulting firm McKinsey, 70% of new job growth is heuristic in nature. That means requiring individuals who hold those jobs to be more innovative, creative, and strategic, more solutions-oriented. Many of the people who voted for Trump or Brexit are those that have been directly affected by this shift. These voters blame globalization in the form of immigration and unfair trade deals. But in truth, many more jobs have been lost or changed through technology than globalization. The pace of this change has been dizzying and will continue to be so. IT research and advisory firm Gartner predicts that up to 1/3 of all jobs could be automated by 2025. What we've seen through the recent US election and the Brexit vote is a reaction to this change. The people have said, we're mad, and we're just not going to take it anymore. And they have a right to be mad. Most organizations are very poor at transitioning employees from one job into another that requires a different set of skills. And history teaches us that automation doesn't eliminate all jobs. It eliminates some jobs and creates others. Our current model is to replace employees with outdated skill sets with those whose skills more match our changing roles. But this strategy cannot continue. It's not sustainable because we are running headlong into the most critical, severe skill shortage of our lifetime. The aging workforce in most countries is causing a huge supply and demand problem. Additionally, the pace of change has been so rapid that our educational systems just haven't been able to keep up. And many companies just can't find the right people with the right skills in the market to fill their open roles. We have to do a better job of upskilling our existing staff and bringing them along on the journey. Now, of course, not everyone will be able to be upskilled, but we have to do a better job in assessing this, not only once they're in the job, once they're working for us, but also as part of our hiring process. Upskilling and transitioning your employees will also improve your employee engagement and retention rates, as well as your ability to recruit. If you make a concerted effort to retrain to retain instead of replacing staff, you'll get referrals and establish a reputation that attracts unsolicited applications from great candidates. Now, this will immediately add to your bottom line. Replacing one staff member can cost between 50 to 200% of their annual salary if you factor in hard and soft costs. Retraining should be far less expensive if we identify those that can. The second lesson is rejection of the status quo. And again, we saw this in both Brexit and Trump. Trump's call to drain the swamp appealed to voters who were frustrated by many aspects of the American political system. The pro-Brexit contingent voted to pull out of the European Union, an institution that's been around for over half a century. Now, this is endemic within our society. Airbnb and Uber are benefiting from our rejection of traditional hotel and taxi companies. Many students are rejecting traditional universities, choosing instead to study online or look at open universities. And individuals are rejecting corporate bureaucracy and traditional workplace culture, choosing instead to work in the gig economy over the relative security of a full-time job. Companies who don't recognize that our employees now hold the power and will vote with their feet, and companies that don't work hard to embrace this new paradigm and transition to a less bureaucratic, less institutionalized, and more human work environment will lose the war for talent. The third lesson that we can learn is that conventional strategies no longer win the race. Conventional wisdom said that Hillary Clinton should have won. She was the most traditionally qualified. She had the most money in her campaign. She had the best run campaign, best organized, and had a great ground game to get out the vote. All the traditional science pointed to a victory for her. Yet more and more, conventional strategies are losing strategies. We don't have to look any further than our centuries-old methodologies for hiring and managing staff. They're ineffective. They don't work. Hudson Recruitment recently stated that 44% of hiring managers that they surveyed were unhappy with their last hire. Hiring for skills and experience like we've done for centuries will not win a race in an economy where the work is changing as rapidly as it is now. Similarly, our employee disengagement rates are at historic highs, and this is causing your bottom line to hemorrhage money through low productivity and high employee turnover. The Gallup organization estimates that employee disengagement costs the U.S. economy between $450 and $550 billion every year. How do we change this? We have to play the long game. We have to proactively hire the best in the market instead of simply the best available at the time that we're looking. We also have to reimagine our management practices to increase employee engagement, motivation, productivity, and performance. The fourth lesson that we need to learn is that people will follow the strongest leader, even if he's a bully. If you've ever had a toxic employee, you know this. Their form of leadership may be to suck the life out of those around them, but they hijack people's attention and influence behaviors nonetheless. Employees who behave poorly or who blame others for performing at a subpar level can convince the entire team of their beliefs. Pretty soon you have a mutiny on your hands. Are you the strongest leader in your team? Do you have their attention, their trust, their respect? Do you influence behavior? Can you help them up-level performance? If not, you'd better learn to step up. People crave leadership. As employees continue to recognize that they wield the power and become more and more vocal about what they want, they will turn to the strongest leader. And if that isn't you, you have a significant problem. The fifth lesson, communication, 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 communication. Donald Trump won the election because he was able to tap into what the voters wanted, at least enough of them to win the Electoral College, and then to effectively communicate repetitively that he would give them what they wanted. In order to maintain an engaged workforce with a depth of experience who consistently perform at their best levels, we have to take a page out of Donald Trump's book. We must talk to our staff about their motivations, their career goals, their frustrations, and their ideas. We must understand what stops them from doing their best work and what they need to succeed. What will inspire them to go the extra mile? Now, we don't necessarily have to give it to them. If we can, we should. But at least we need to manage their expectations appropriately. True employee engagement, motivation, performance, and productivity can only occur when there's a two-way dialogue and when the needs of the organization intersect with the needs of the individual. And the only way that will happen is through robust one-on-one communication. We are facing the biggest skills shortage in our lifetime, and it's predicted to go on through at least 2030. The election of Donald Trump and the pro-Brexit vote should be a warning to business owners and people managers alike. It's a new world out there, and we must adapt or perish.